Hello, my name is Phil Easter, historian and writer from Baltimore, Maryland, also known as the Amazing Memory Man. We are recording tonight on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. This is story number 39 on my YouTube channel, which is Phil Easter, the Amazing Memory Man. But tonight it's not so much a story about my knowledge of major events in political and sports history and other subjects. Tonight it's a little birthday celebration I'm having for my friend Bob Shade and myself. Bob, welcome.
Thank you, Phil.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bob's birthday officially was yesterday, October 14th, and mine is 2 days from now on Tuesday, October 17th. But today being a Sunday and Bob is off work and still a young working man during the week, and we thought we'd celebrate our birthdays today. And as a matter of fact, it was a year ago tomorrow, on October 16th, 2022, so tomorrow marks 1 year exactly, the first time I did a YouTube story with Bob, and also his girlfriend Julia joined us that time, as we shared our memories of the beautiful country of Ireland, which Bob and Julia visited last year in the summer of 2022, and I was there 40 some years ago in 1979, and so we each shared our memories of Ireland and from different generation perspectives, but we agree it's still a very wonderful country and very friendly people.
Mm-hmm.
And also joining us tonight is my friend Louis Berman. Louis, thank you for joining us tonight. And it was a year ago, just about, it was November of last year, that Louis and I did one of my stories on my YouTube channel about our World Series baseball memories. Memories of the World Series games that Louis and I have seen over the years. Well, Bob, tell me a little bit about just a few times maybe with your family when you were growing up, some of the birthday activities or parties or things that you might have done. If you could just share a few with us. Maybe, was it connected to school sometime also? Did you have some, any type of celebration or with family?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the craziest birthday party you ever
Craziest birthday party? I feel like if I think back on my life with like birthday parties and stuff, it was never really, I don't know. I think there was a lot of,
Not always organized, little
it
spontaneous.
was never really organized. Yeah.
Okay.
I had some birthday parties. Like,
Right.
definitely when I was a little kid, we had some birthday parties and my friends came and we did stuff. Like, went to like, there's a place called Sports. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to Sports and maybe Chuck E. Cheese and stuff.
Oh,
And then as I got older, maybe like, I don't know, my family always like pushed the, never mind, I don't know.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you grew up in Baltimore County, didn't you? Baltimore County.
Yeah.
I grew up in Baltimore City, downtown Baltimore, and I grew up with my mom and grandmother. We lived near the Mount Vernon Place area of Baltimore for many years, and I remember one birthday, though, in 1969, my 17th birthday, I went on a double date. A friend of mine named Rick and a girl he knew, and a young lady I had met about that time. We went to see the play Fiddler on the Roof, a very popular musical at that time, in the late 1960s. We saw that play at the Morris Mechanic Theater, and it was the start of my senior year in high school, October of '69. I graduated May of 1970. That's another birthday memory. When I lived in Boston in 1975 and part of 1976, on my 23rd birthday, October 17th, 1975, I met a well-known television news reporter. One of the first women working in television was Sally Quinn of CBS News. I think Barbara Walters was really the very first. She was with NBC for many years and then ABC later, but Sally Quinn had just been hired by CBS a short time before, and she was giving a lecture that night in Boston on October 23rd, 1970, October 17th, 1975, my 23rd birthday. And I happened to meet her afterwards for just a few minutes. So I thought it was neat to meet a famous lady on my birthday, that year. And then another time in 1976, on my 24th birthday, I was in a walkathon here in Baltimore, about a 25-mile walkathon. And that was 1 week. I was using that as a prep for, I ran the New York City Marathon a week later on Sunday, October 24th, 1976. So I had a long workout, even walking 7 days before that, the previous Sunday, to get ready for the New York City Marathon. And a couple weeks after my 32nd birthday, I was mentioned in the city paper. It was a weekly newspaper in Baltimore at that time. An article came out about me. It actually appeared on Halloween 2 weeks later. It was just 2 weeks after my 32nd birthday, called Phil Easter and His Amazing Memory. But actually, when I think about this, it's interesting that going back to my 27th birthday, on October 17th, 1979, I saw the 7th and final game of the 1979 World Series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates at Memorial Stadium. And it was exciting to see a World Series game once again. I've seen 9 games altogether in the World Series, but to see one on my birthday exactly was pretty exciting. It's just that the Orioles lost that game and lost the series. A little disappointing, but still to see the 7th game of the World Series on my birthday exactly is something I remember very well all these years later.
When something like that happens, like when somebody loses on your birthday big time, do you feel bad about that? Like,
oh, a little. I mean, I felt bad that the Orioles lost,
But it wasn't like, did you feel like it was your fault or anything
No,
like that?
no, not at all, no.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't.
I wouldn't either. I was just
Yeah,
wondering.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people might. It's a
Yeah,
luck
yeah.
thing. Right.
Because like if you're obsessed with dates and stuff like
Right.
that, and then something like that happens on your birthday, like
Right. It could, but
yeah,
I knew it. I wasn't devastated. I was
Yeah,
just a little
yeah.
disappointed. But I mean, it was still a great time. I just come back from Europe the week before. That wonderful 15-week trip I took in 1979
yeah.
to many parts of Britain and Ireland. I was still in a high from that experience.
Mhm.
The greatest trip of my life. Plus, the first week back was so exciting that the Orioles happened to qualify for the World Series, the biggest event in baseball. So I went to the second game on October 11th, and the final game on my birthday, October 17th. So it's like 16 straight weeks. I never had such excitement in my life for 16 weeks in a row. And then I had to rest. I really had to take a rest
Yeah.
after all that. But it was interesting at least. And
Yeah.
now I do mention also that on October 15th, like today, it was exactly 53 years ago, in 1970, I saw the final game of that World Series also at Memorial Stadium when the Orioles beat the Cincinnati Reds that time to win the World Series. So that was pretty close to my birthday, at least 2 days before.
Yeah.
So I had an early 18th birthday present for a young man, and that was nice. Also, would like to mention that today, actually October 15th, is the birthday of a very nice lady friend of mine named Tracy, who used to live in Baltimore, but in 2019 she moved to Carbondale, Illinois, where she works for the local public radio and TV station, WSIU. So I just want to wish Tracy a very happy birthday today, October 15th.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have a drink.
say
now,
happy
too.
birthday to Tracy.
Thank you to Tracy, Bob,
To Tracy.
and Phil. Right? Oh, yes, Tracy.
Tracy, I've heard a lot about you.
Yes. That's right. Well,
Yeah.
Bob, and I know we did another YouTube story. Also, we had a porch party back in June.
Yeah.
On June 25th, we had a nice porch party with
Yeah.
you and Julia and the young couple who was living next door at that time, and Aaron and Dan, and they did move to Philadelphia around July 1st, but so we occasionally have a few porch parties in the future when the weather is nicer out. We were thinking about that today. It's a little chilly this evening, but it's good October weather, and this is such a beautiful month, really, in many parts of the world. I've met a number of people who've traveled a lot also, and they say that October, in many places at least, is a very temperate, very nice month.
Yeah, it's great.
It often is.
I love it.
I would just like to mention briefly, too, that back in 1985, when I lived downtown in Baltimore, there's a monument to George Washington that was built in the 1800s. Most of the monument was built between 1815 and 1829. In 1838, they put up inscriptions on the monument regarding important dates of his life, some of his battles and other achievements, and also his supposedly correct inauguration date, but it's not correct. Where it says President of the United States 4 March 1789, it should be 30 April, because that was the day he actually became president in 1789, April 30th, not March 4th. His second inauguration 4 years later was on March 4th, 1793, but his first inauguration was April 30th, the only time an American president was ever inaugurated April 30th. So I was very proud that I noticed that error in 1985 when I was 32 years old. I made the front page of the Evening Sun newspaper. The president at that time was Ronald Reagan, so it was very nice to be in an article underneath the current president of the United States titled, "Oh my God, it's wrong, monumental error in the city." The Sun papers recognized me as the man who discovered that monumental error that no one seemed to have noticed for well over 100 years. But because I care about so many exact dates and I love history with a passion, it took someone like me to notice that, I guess. And the second page went into many other examples of dates that I know off the top of my head, and my photograph there too. The second page of that article dated July 8th, 1985, the Evening Sun newspaper, one of my proud literary achievements, as well as this book called Time Points, which my friend Tracy and I worked on together when she lived here in Baltimore. I wrote the information about a number of events in my life over the years, and Tracy designed the book and was very helpful in getting the book published. So Time Points was officially published, date October 30th, 2018, which is 5 years ago this month. The book Time Points you can find on Amazon Books. So in 2 days, I will be 71 years old, and I'm very happy that I now have this YouTube channel where I can share stories with all my friends and many other people. It's just great to share my knowledge on so many events in history and my own personal life. But Bob, once again, happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday to you, man. I'm so happy to be your neighbor and to know you.
Yes, well, thank you, Bob. A great friend and neighbor. Yes, Bob and Julia live right up the street here, on my same street here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. This is Phil Easter, the Amazing Memory Man. We'll see you soon again. Thank you, and have a good night.